Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. yeah. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel. Home of Bitcoin, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto than this one right here. My name is Ben. We come to you live every single day, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is Monday, July 25th. I just ate some Chipotle. My mouth is on fire, so this is going to be pretty fun. Also, sunburn. Look at my nose. Look at this. Look at this. Look how red that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Somebody got some sun.
Well, we were at the baseball tournament all weekend. First two days, we did horrible. We won one game out of three. And then Sunday, we kept winning and winning and winning. We ended up playing 4 games yesterday.
Nice.
In 100-degree weather. And I got really sunburned. I was making fun of some of the parents of some of the kids that I know that were out there. I was saying, one of you is going to get stuck here all day on Sunday playing. I'm going to be back home in my AC. And it was me.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, it went pretty well, though. So, fun tournament. We got runners up. So, we lost in the championship. Actually, we lost in the championship to Madden's regular travel coach. Because it was the All-Star. It was an All-Star thing. So, it was all these travel players from all around. And he lost to his own coach. So, it was so sad. But, guys, weekend was very interesting. There were times when it looked like Bitcoin was heading way down, and then it bounced way back up. And, people having a hard time making heads or tails. Weekly close was interesting. We'll be taking a look at that. I guess Frank's coming on today, correct?
I believe so.
Frank is coming on. So Frank is ready. We'll be talking about the charts. Some interesting news coming out over the weekend about Elon Musk, or is it news or is it not news? We're going to start a new segment called TMZ BitBoy, where we're going to get into all the gossip around. That is a good idea for a segment, though.
Yeah.
TMZ. So we're going to be looking at that. Very interesting. Some denials from him about some stuff. We're going to be taking a look at Voyager. Now, TJ, you were not here last week.
I was not.
You were not here last week. Did you think about crypto at all last week?
Believe it or not, yeah, probably more than I would like to admit. It's weird. On vacation, I have downtime, right? And I start reading Twitter and going down charts. And so, yes or no, hit or miss, but, it's a good time to go. It's bear market activities, I guess. It feels like that time. So
they said our volume is down very low today.
I was messing with that.
Okay.
All right.
So get a lot of people asking about, by the way, our portfolio video that we're going to be, or series we're going to start putting out. So we have content meeting tomorrow. We're going to be straightening that out exactly. The plan is Monday, starting next Monday, we're going to have, some sample portfolios you guys can follow. And then along with, maybe by the end of this week, we're going to get some trading going on the channel. We're back to the, we usually trade on the live stream a pretty good bit. So we're going to get back to that. So we're talking about that all this week, getting all that straightened out. So next week, for sure, we're going to have all that straightened out for you guys for the portfolio. I know a lot of you guys are very interested in that. We try to do like a sample portfolio of $1,000 at the peak of the market pretty much last time. It didn't work out well. It makes a lot more sense for us to do it, obviously, in the bear market as things are getting going. Now, I still believe we are going down a little bit further. I think a lot of people think that. But, guys, make sure a nice little cameo on the HBO show, The Anarchists. I had a cameo on there. I didn't know. That's fantastic. Maybe somebody can put more about that. I'd like to know more about that. So we made a cameo in a major publication over the weekend, which they tried to take a swing at me. And I woke up to all kinds of text messages this morning. Oh, that article about you was so great. So good try, guys. You keep swinging, you keep missing. No big deal. It's okay if you hit me. I'll bounce right back up. I don't know if you guys have figured that out. But listen, I got to say this, though. My proudest moment as a dad was when over the weekend, Madden was pitching.
Oh, I saw this.
He got hit in the face with the ball. Ball came right up the middle, right off his glove, right into his chin. And he hit the ground, and the coaches came over there. They talked to him. I was like, he's fine. He's embarrassed. He didn't catch it. And, he got back up, and they asked him if he wanted to come out of the game. He said no. And he freaking struck out the next 2 kids in a row to end the inning with the bases loaded. We ended up winning that game, I think, by 1 run. So that was that. When you're a dad, like, that's what you want to see. You want to see your kid get back up and go back at it. And, man, I was so proud of that moment. So, great job to my son. He learned from his dad, I guess. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Don't forget to follow us. 1.45 million here on YouTube. As you guys know, we got plenty of these other channels over here. As you guys can see, we have the BitBoy Espanol channel. We're almost up to 200 subscribers on it. Just hit 5,000 on BitBoy Bits. We got Frankie Candles coming in at 22. Hit Network, Meta Money, and also NFT Alpha. They just hit 20K, so congratulations to them on that. Don't forget to follow us over here on Twitter. Oh, we have to pick a winner today of this contest. We're giving away 2 tickets to NFT Expoverse. We will pick that today, and we will announce on Twitter a little bit later. Cannot forget to do that. Definitely got to make sure to do that. Look at that little viral tweet I had. Crypto makes regular people millionaires. This was kind of the message. This was kind of the message of this article that was about me, which was like, normal people shouldn't be able to make money in crypto. It needs to be reserved for all the experts, all the people, all your Jim Cramers out there. He should be helping people make money in crypto.
Oh, God.
Freaking idiots.
Yeah.
But crypto makes regular people millionaires. This is why the elites hate it. This is why the media hates it. This is why stockbrokers hate it. This is why politicians hate it. Because the truth is, they despise you. They want you to fail. And of course, I also like this one here about Gary Gensler. Ellie Tarrant was talking about one problem with giving, this is a quote from an article from, I think, Charles Gasparino. One problem with giving Paul Pelosi the benefit of the doubt is that enough of his winners involve companies that appear to have been benefiting from legislation that his wife, as a powerful lefty House Speaker, has a hand in. Of course, I said, literally no one gives her the benefit of the doubt. She is clearly insider trading, speaking about Nancy Pelosi. There's zero doubt about that. Why is there no accountability? If Gary Gensler even had one testicle, he would go after her. But apparently he has 0. All right, let's go to the markets here. And the number just keeps going up, guys. They told you they were all going to be down. There was going to be 0 cryptos by the end of this bull run. Now we're at 20,349. We ticked back up 2 exchanges to 500. These are numbers we used to not even pay attention to, but very interesting now. Market cap right at $1 trillion, potentially going under. It got as high as, I think, almost 1.1 last week. Now we're right back at 1 trillion. Can that be a strong support level? Don't really know. Volume, mediocre at 70 billion. Bitcoin dominance down considerably over the weekend, almost a full percent. ETH dominance up, I think, about 0.2%. This ETH dominance peaking back up to 20% here soon, guys. That's what it is looking like. Bitcoin dominance going down. I've been very clear that I do believe that we will not see 50% Bitcoin dominance in this bull run. Some people are saying up to 60%. I don't think we're going to see it. I think ETH is going to go up, probably to 25% or higher. And look at those ETH gas fees. 13 Paraguays will get you an ETH transaction. I don't know what happened there. What is that? What is that? Okay. We got Bitcoin coming in at 21,874. Of course, Frank will be coming in to break that down. Ethereum down pretty good as well. Sean says, Ben is a genius with a slight anger management problem. I don't know if I've ever heard a better description of
Yeah, that's
before.
pretty good.
That hits it right on the head. I love that. Bitcoin 21.8, Ethereum about 15.25. Tether $1. They told you that this was going to go away. They told you this was going to collapse. Still hasn't collapsed.
Nope.
We got USDC. Oh, look at that. Lost its peg, guys. Down 0.0003. Okay. BNB 255. This was almost at, I think, didn't this almost hit 300 at some point over the weekend? Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, over the weekend.
Yeah, let's see. Where did highest it got to was, oh no, 267. No, that's not right. There it is. 273. Yeah, inching back up. I tell you, when that BNB gets back to 300, that'll be some pretty interesting stuff there. XRP down pretty considerably, 34 cents. I mean, still hovering in the same 32 to 36% range. Cardano at 50 cents here. I'm telling you, watch your Cardano to break out. It's not going to break out and hit new all-time highs, but I think we could seriously see Cardano back up 60, 70, 75 cents is this hard for it gets a little bit closer and starts going through. A lot of stuff down today. Biggest winners of the day, Nexo. I mean, nothing's up more than 2%, really. Convex Finance, Lido, Thorchain, all down about 10%. Some more there as well. Biggest gainers of the week, we got Phantom, Nexo, EOS, all 10% and up. Biggest losers of the week, Arweave. Can we just remove Terra Classic from the list? It's so stupid. ICP down 17%. I tell you, the ICP is pretty interesting because I am seeing more and more people coming out, I guess, pro ICP, which is interesting. A lot of sketchy stuff with how it was launched. But the reason why people are pro ICP, and I've heard many people make this argument, is the technology that they're using is so good from Dfinity. So that's what I'm not. I think it's a little scammy, I think, but it is one I'm willing to change my mind on over time. Of course, this was the peak bull run coin here, right? Where pretty much the day that this thing launched, it went all the way up to like $450. And then that was right at May when Elon Musk started tweeting about Bitcoin, and then it just collapsed. It had about a 2-day run. We put, I think, $100,000 in around $300 or something like that. I think we pulled it out at like $150. We lost about 50%.
Yeah.
But that thing now is all the way down to Sean, you're right on cue there. But it's down all the way down to $6 now. I think what was the peak of this thing? Was it 400? Let's look. Golly, when it launched.
Wow.
364. Look at that thing. That is a freaking chart right there. And you know what? You can't really, I mean, look, is it crappy? Yeah, but it launched like pretty much right when things, were at the very, very peak. So, yeah, I mean, I think, let's see, what is that date? It launched on May 10th. I believe, wasn't it May 15th or May 19th that everything collapsed?
Yeah, it was mid-May.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, well, let's why don't we bring on Frank here to come talk, man? I feel like Frank never gets to go on the show anymore. Frank, I miss you.
I miss you too, Ben.
Hey,
They kicked me off. They won't let me back on the show, but I keep coming back.
He's getting too strong.
Hey, I saw a guy this weekend. It was a guy who looked just like you at the park. He was wearing the same hat that you wear, everything. He's had a tattoo, so he was a little bit cooler than you. But I kept feeling like you were there at the park, man. It was awesome.
You never know. I might have had those fake tattoos on. I might have been spying on you. What is going on, everybody? We got a lot of stuff to look at on the charts here. We got some bullish stuff, some bearish stuff. I'm going to show you some of the bearish stuff first, and then we're going to zoom into the lower time frames. I'm going to show you some of the bullish stuff that is popping up. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let me do a quick refresh here. Make sure everything is updated.
Frankie carries Ben. Is that the comment?
Uh-oh.
Frank carries the show.
Get on my back.
I will break your back, Frank. I do not want
to. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at, of course, oh, that's why. Okay, so we're going to come over to Bitcoin, not the SPY. So here we are, guys. So we are currently approaching a very, very important area of support. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an insight into how I find these levels, as I typically do when I hop up here. Now, we are coming down to this really important level here at about 21,542. And the reason it is so important is because it is the value area high when you pull your volume of this entire previous range. Let's see if I can get it to cooperate here. So if you pull some volume through this entire range, you can see your value area high is coming in right on this line. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. But this is how I find these levels, guys. Now, we are approaching this. Now, this can kind of go two ways. Typically, when you do break out of your value area and you come above the value area high, typically, it goes two ways, right? Either you come up and you do not create any new volume. This happens a lot when you get big impulsive moves, kind of like what you're seeing right here. You won't create any new volume up above this value area high. And a lot of the times this value area or, closer to this point of control right here acts as a magnet. So you'll come up, there's no volume up here. You get sucked back towards this value area and more specifically the point of control. But another thing that can happen here is we could potentially find support on top of this value area high to come back up to higher prices. Now, and now let's go over some of the bearish stuff because I do think there is a chance that we could get sucked back into this value area. So if we come over to the 4-hour, you can see your money flow on Market Cipher B is starting to come out. Now, this does look pretty bearish. Your VWAP is coming out. Your VWAP is coming up, rather. But your money flow is coming down. So you might, kind of just hover a little bit on top of this value area high before either breaking down or breaking up. But this 4-hour with the money flow coming out so aggressively does look pretty bearish to me. Coming on to the daily chart now, let me grab my other tool here so I can move stuff around. Now, on the daily chart, you can see it does look like we could potentially have some more room to come down here. So if you look at your VWAP is coming straight down. Your money flow is slightly coming up a tiny bit there. Now, this money flow crossover is, if we get this money flow crossover on the daily into the green, I do think it could bring us up quite a bit. However, if we see this money flow start to get rejected and come back out, we could potentially come back into the red for another big red wave, with the money flow below the 0 line here in the red. So watching this daily money flow very closely, but with the 4-hour looking so bearish, with the money flow aggressively coming out, we'll have to see what happens when the VWAP comes up. But if we get this 4-hour money flow crossover below the 0 line, I would be feeling a little bit more bearish. So if we do, a little more on the bearish side, as well as if we pull up Market Cipher A and we come down here, we do have yellow X's starting to confirm, right? Confirmed yellow X on the 90-minute right here. And you can see it is the first one, right? So if this was the third or fourth one, I would be thinking, maybe it could be indicating seller exhaustion, and maybe we would be likely to get a bounce here, but it is the first one. Now, coming down to some of these other time frames. Now, the 30-minute, this is a little bit more on the bullish side. You are currently printing, not confirmed, but it is printing a bullish divergence here on the 30-minute. You can see you have your lower lows on price, and you have your higher lows on your momentum waves. That is a textbook bullish divergence. So we might get a little pop up here, but be careful with the 4-hour looking so bearish. Those yellow X's popping up. Sometimes the bearish scenario, bearish cases might not play out as strong. So yeah, pretty bearish with that yellow confirmed X. If we come on over to the 1 hour, you will notice we also have a confirmed yellow X on the 1 hour. Pretty bearish. Money flow coming back out. Now, keep an eye here on the 1 hour, because you could be potentially be putting in a bullish divergence on the 1 hour as well, which also could push you up. But again, be careful around these yellow X's. They do not mess around. Typically, you will see price get crushed to the downside. So there are some levels I am looking at, guys, just before I leave you guys, just so I can give you these actual levels. Your value area high, the point where I am looking to get a potential bounce. Did not want to grab that. Sean, sometimes I grab stuff I don't mean to. I'm sorry. But yeah, the levels I am looking at hey.
Not that quick.
But yeah, the level I am looking to come and get a bounce at is right here at about 21,542. If we crack this level of support and it does not hold and we continue lower, I will be looking for that point of control right here to act as a magnet. And for those of you who are interested, that is coming in at about $20,501. So there's some levels for you guys to watch. Keep an eye out on that money flow on the 4-hour chart, as it does look bearish.
Weekly chart.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the same thing, I think.
Yeah. What does the close of the weekly tell us? And then wasn't it pretty dramatic move right after that?
Yeah. So with the weekly here, now the one thing that I am not crazy about the weekly here is we are starting to see that VWAP taper over. So you can see, it was coming up, is starting to flatten out here. But again, you do want to put some weight on these higher time frames with that confirmed green dot. We could easily come back up. This could start to curve back up, and we could come up higher. Now, a lot of the times with the weekly green dots, I do like to bring this back in time a little bit and see what these have done in the past. Now, obviously, in 2018, it did call the bottom pretty close, right? Not exactly, but you could see my crosshairs right here on it. Almost called the bottom, right? If you were buying down there, you're not going to be upset once you come up into the new cycle, right? But if we come over into 2015, let me just resize here a little bit. If we come over to 2015, the 2015 bear market, you will see that we did get 2 of these green dots. Now, the first one, everybody was probably getting really excited, seeing this first one pop up down here. We did get a little bit of bullish price action, but right after that one green weekly candle, you did come back down before another little scam pump up. And then finally, you get your last capitulation down. And that second green dot does actually mark the bottom. Now, another thing you could keep your eye on if you're looking at the longer time frames is the 2-week, which is currently printing currently printing a green dot here, not confirmed, will confirm in about 6 days. So that is printing a green dot as well. Now these, in 2015, I believe, yeah, we only did get one, right? So one green dot called the bottom in 2015, one green dot called the bottom in 2018, and now we are printing another green dot here on the 2 weeks. So this is
I don't think it's going to confirm. Is the 2 week? Are we on the second week of the 2 week right now, or did it just tick up?
This is the second week. We do have 6 days left,
I feel like we're going to get a little move up here. It's going to get rid of that, I think.
Yeah, it could potentially, but this is another thing I watch because with that weekly green dot, it could get pretty hard trying to think, we are printing the green dot, but are we going to get another one? It gets a little, a little hard to try to predict those things. But with the 2 week, I would keep an eye on it. We have 6 days. A lot can happen in 6 days, so definitely be prepared. It could disappear. So just another thing to keep an eye on. But watch those levels, guys. 4-hour money flow is really what I'm watching for. So that's all I got. Bing bong. Back to Ben.
Okay, so this is what I want to show you guys. I want to do some investigation here. Let's do some live investigation. Because I was looking at this weekly, and I was looking at what Frank was talking about with the 2 weeks chart. But the weekly to me is particularly interesting when you come back here to 2015. This range right here. Obviously, you can't tell much on the top here because the numbers were so low. You can't really tell what was going on. But then, of course, when you expand these out and you start looking here, I want to look at the difference because I'm telling you this. Okay, so what bull run was this most like? People would point to the double top that we had in 2013 as basically what this was similar to, because we had 2 peaks there. Of course, the second one was much more parabolic than the first. This one was not, but this is looking eerily similar to what we're seeing right now. So it makes sense that we kind of mimic the bull market for that cycle. Maybe we would also mimic the bear market. Crypto Savvy with a $20 super chat. Man, I will take your money any day of the week. Thank you, sir. We will have a false bottom much lower than a fake bull trap rally to get to true bottom in 2023. I think we're getting it at the end of this year, but could certainly be 2023. But what I want to look at here is let's measure from the first green dot. Let's measure from basically this wick to this wick. This was a 45% drop from that wick to wick. So if we were to apply this to what we are seeing now, and we were to go to, I'll just scroll all the way over here. Boom, 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 boom. Man, it's so hard to get here. Almost. Okay. So if we were to say we were to see a 45% drawdown from this wick to true capitulation, what would that be? That would put us at, right at $10,000, 9,666. Which, if you guys have been watching this channel for quite a while,
96666.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Which, if you guys have been watching this channel, I've been telling you guys, 10 to 14K is the range we need to look at. 85% drawdown is $10,300. What was it? $10,366. So very close to that range. So this is a range I'm really looking at. That seems to, if you look back at 2015 bear market, if we were to follow a similar track, put us right in those numbers. So, guys, I know everybody wants the hopium. They want it to go back up, but be careful because there's a great chance we are going to see this rally, short-lived, and then when it gets crushed, that's when the capitulation. You can't have capitulation without hopium. People have hopium that the price is going to go up, and then they get that last slice that knocks the legs out from underneath them, and then that's when people really get worried. That's when people really get concerned because they're like, I thought it was going back up, and now it's not. Maybe now it is going to zero, whatever, yada, yada, yada. So I think that is definitely something we are going to see. Eric Carlson says 13K seems likely in November. November is where we're targeting for a bottom. Someone says 96 is 69 reverse. That is a great note. Thank you for telling us that. There you go. So,
there's something I saw this morning, too, that is just wanted to note is that 200-week moving average is now starting to act like a resistance. It was a really good support for a long time, having a harder time getting above it. And you layer the macroeconomic uncertainty that's out there right now. That's what makes me feel pretty good. We're going to get another rate hike. There's this earnings coming out this week that hasn't looked good for anybody so far. I imagine that's going to create more market volatility. And as long as there's volatility in traditional markets and kind of the everything market,
Mhm.
people are going to be sitting on their monies. So expect assets to be under pressure for the rest of this year.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like everything is lining up for November
Yeah.
because when you're looking at potentially the pendulum of inflation swinging back the other way, which some people are saying it's already swinging, the numbers aren't reflecting it yet. When that starts reflecting and starts swinging the other way, and they're able to ease off, take the foot off the gas of the quantitative tightening, and move back to the quantitative easing, we are definitely going to see, things in the traditional market maybe start ticking the other way too. Jason Mack, Ben, not financial advice. How would you build a 50,000 bear market portfolio with spraying out Bitcoin, Layer 1s, Bridge, and exchange coins? We're going to be doing that next week with $25,000, 1,000, 10,000, and 25,000. So be on the lookout for that. I also saw somebody mention the a super chat above. What's my reaction to the Washington Post article? They missed again. They swing. They like to swing. I talked to the reporter last week. It's always the same thing. Like they always come off as like, hey, really want to talk about a great article, blah, 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 blah. You're so great. We want to know about your community, blah, 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 blah. And then, at the end, he's like, yeah, this article may not be the nicest article, just so you know. So he already tells me after the interview, like, hey, like, thanks for giving me all that information. By the way, the whole thing is I'm trying to throw you under the bus because that's what you do in bear markets. But they missed because, I got a lot of positive comments about people saying, makes me come off as a regular guy in crypto. And that's what we are. We are the regular person who has made a lot of money because we believed in this space and we believe in decentralization. And we've carried you guys along that journey. If you came in last year, you're probably down. If you came in 2019, 2020, you're crushing it. Same thing is going to be said in 2025. The class of 2021 is going to become experienced traders, experienced hodlers by 2025. And you'll see what happens over the next several years. But the thing is when these people try to misportray people in crypto, this is what it's about. That article was not about throwing me under the bus as much as it is throwing crypto influencers under the bus, throwing regular people who think they can make money under the bus. They don't want that. They hate that. I mean, this is a mediocre, journalist. Nobody's ever heard of him. Nobody ever knows who this guy is. And he's out there trying to throw all those of us under the bus that are trying to help people. There was a line now I didn't read it, just so you guys know. I don't read anything people write about me. I don't get into that. I don't watch videos that people make about me because I'm above that. I don't care. Like, sure, any publicity is good publicity. You want to write stuff about me? Go ahead. But what I was told is that basically in the article, there's a part where he talks about, now, Jim Cramer's good. Jim Cramer's great.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
he's been wrong about some stuff. Here's the line. But it's within the error of the bounds of cable TV.
What?
What? You made that up, you idiot. You made that up. That's not a real thing. That doesn't exist.
Right.
And also, big in the article is talking about how the headline is something like, untrained YouTuber tells people about crypto. Where's the crypto training?
Right.
Where does it exist at, you douche? Where does it exist? Please, show me my blockchain influencer accreditation standard that I'm supposed to go to. This is an emerging technology. You would think with all of your freaking degrees, you would know that. But you're too stupid to see the truth that's right there in front of you, which is this is emerging. We don't have regulation. This is why I go after Gary Gensler so hard, because these people do not give us regulatory clarity. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. I don't know what I'm allowed to do. I don't know when I'm allowed to buy and sell crypto based on videos. Now, we have a rule here similar to 72-hour rule is what I was told in stocks. So we have that rule here as a policy for our company. We're trying to go with the best practices that we know how to do, but we don't have any of this. So the guy tries to paint this scenario and this picture that like there is this great land out there where everybody's following the regulatory clarity of what we're supposed to be doing in the world of crypto. It doesn't exist. That's why nutless Gary Gensler wants to go after everybody through enforcement without doing his freaking job. None of them want to do their job. All they want to do is land grab. So yeah, so that's my response to it. I didn't read it. I don't care what it says. But here's the end of the day. The media is trying to assassinate people in crypto, period. They're going to continue to do it for the next 2 years. You will see. Then all of a sudden, it'll swing back the other way. They did an article about crypto NDO a year ago when crypto was good. And glowing reviews of Wendy. Glowing reviews of Wendy. Now, they'll probably be afraid to touch her in the future anyways, because she's a woman in crypto, and they'll be sexist if they go after a woman in crypto, because these people are so confused on their political identity. They don't know what they're supposed to do. But glowing reviews of crypto influencers on TikTok. Glowing reviews of everybody teaching people how to do stuff in financial world. Now, a year later, throw them under the bus. Throw them under the bus. That's what happens in bear markets, guys. We're prepared for this. We know this happens. So there you go. That's my only comment on that, which was a lot of comments. Action Crypto says, normal guy with, I can't read it. Oh. Normal guy with 10 years in crypto and newly influencer here. I really hope one day people will understand that blowing out someone else's candle doesn't make yours shine any brighter. That's the truth, guys. That's the truth. We're all in this together. So, all right, moving on here. Twitter Buzz. Let's do Twitter Buzz here. It's been one heartbeat from a heart attack. Thanks. Japanese banking giant SMBC 2.1 trillion in assets to develop NFT and Web3 projects. You know what's interesting here? Do you think that we will see any American banks getting into Web3 and NFTs? Do you feel like Japan's a little more technologically technology savvy? I don't. What's the best way to say that about Japan? They're a very forward-thinking technology company.
Yeah,
or a country in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that we would see one there. 2.1 trillion assets is a lot. That's even more assets than BlackRock lost this year, which was 1.7 trillion.
Maybe that's where it is. You know, who knows?
Moved it around over there. So I don't think in America we're going to see a lot of banking giants getting involved in Web3.
We won't, for the exact reason you just outlined. There's no regulatory clarity. They can't. Yeah, they're handcuffed.
Absolutely. Julio, you says super cycle possible or another chamber of echoes. I'm not going to say super cycle because I don't really know how we would define that. I know we've used that word in the past because people like that word. They like to click on videos that say super cycle. But I do think we will have a large possibility of seeing the reversal of diminishing returns over bear markets. Crypto X Cyclops says article was trash. I've been sharing your content with non-believer family. They love sending this article as, see, I knew it. He was a scam. Yeah, it's just what would they say, man? They don't know anything about what they're talking about. Look, when a journalist has to do research to be able to understand what he's talking about, he's not going to put out a good article. He doesn't know anything about crypto. He doesn't know anything about blockchain. All he knows how to do is pencil push. So, all right. Next one. Oh, yeah, this is a pretty interesting one. I saw this earlier today. Fair to say that consumer confidence in China has completely collapsed. Now, if you guys have watched any of Raoul Pal's Real Vision Finance, they have done a lot of stories on China over the years and what's really happening there. And, you know, the thing is that we keep being sold this idea that China is the number one competitor to the United States. They're the only other superpower that exists. Their economy is going to dwarf ours and it's going to swallow us whole. And, you know, we've got so much debt and, you know, we owe China so much money and all this stuff. Now, all that is yet to be seen because in reality, the Chinese economy is a house of cards. It's basically them kind of similar to what, you know, the United States does with money printing, the way they run and launder all their money through Hong Kong and through the People's Bank of China. They do it to inflate their numbers and to make their economy look much stronger than it is. And we just saw last week where they were rolling tanks in front of the banks because people were protesting and trying to get their money. Guys, China is completely a house of cards, and they know that. I'll go back to something that I've said before on the channel, which was there was apparently a dinner where the president of China and the president of the United States, which at the time was George W. Bush, they had a meeting. And off the record, they went and they talked afterwards. And you know, President, I never know how to say his name, is President Xi, he asked George Bush, I think that he was still the president at that point. He said, you know, what's your number one concern for your country? And George Bush said, protecting us from terrorism. It was right after 9/11, you know, you want to protect the country, defend, whatever. You know, you truthers can say whatever you want, but that's what he said. Yeah, so George Bush turned the question around on him and said, well, what about you? President Xi said, creating jobs. That's the number one concern. If they don't create enough jobs per year to keep everybody working, then all of a sudden the house of cards collapses. And what are they so scared of? They're scared of protest. They're scared of revolution because there are so many people in China The day that they all kind of wake up and say, oh, there's way more of us than there are of them. There's way more of us regular citizens than there are people that are in the CCP. They rebel, and it's over. And they know that. The Chinese government knows that. So the fact that we're seeing no confidence in the Chinese economy, this doesn't surprise me at all. It's a little scary for the world, especially when you look at what went on with Evergrande, and they're trying to skirt their way out of that right now as well. The way that they work along with Hong Kong tycoons like Li Ka-shing to kind of disseminate the Chinese economy throughout other parts of the world. When countries start figuring out that they're infiltrating every level of your government and every level of your, capitalist society and your markets, which is what they've used. That's what China's used Canada for, is to get into American markets. Once all that stuff gets stifled, it's over for China. So I don't think that China is going to be a superpower in the next, 10 to 20 years. George Washington? Somebody said George Washington? Why did they say George Washington? I didn't say George Washington, did I?
No.
Okay. All right. Next one.
Uh-oh.
There it is. Oh, we lost the show. Tim Young. Good morning to everyone except the Biden White House, who began pushing a new definition of recession last week in order to prepare to lie when data comes out showing we're in a recession this week. Does anybody believe the government at this point? I mean, can you believe anything that comes out of their mouths? Absolutely not. Now, the reason why this tweet was picked, I'm sure, is because we have precedent for this happening before. Mm-hmm. This is where we got the CPI from, the Consumer Price Index, which shows inflation. Well, they totally changed the definition of what goes into inflation to make the numbers look better. They did this like 20 years ago, I believe it was. Then if you look, or no, I think it was in the 80s actually. So that's why you see the gigantic drop off in inflation. Not because inflation got that much significantly better. It's because they changed the way they calculate it. Same thing with employment. You have real unemployment numbers, and then you have the unemployment numbers, right? We only get the unemployment numbers. The real unemployment numbers are much, much worse. Here's for instance, they do not include people that have been looking for work for more than 1 year in the unemployment numbers. So I think it's 1 year, maybe it's 18 months. But basically, if you're still looking for a job and you haven't found one after a year, they just remove you out of the list. Mm-hmm. You don't count anymore. You're obviously not looking for work. And of course, when you got people with high paying positions and degrees, like it takes them a long time to find a job because those jobs aren't, just available. Lucky Thoughts over here with Super Chat. Ben, for 2024. Well, we do have a bill in California, the Financial Education Inclusion Act. If you guys want to look into that, we're trying to push that forward. SJR 16, I believe it is. Special Joint Resolution 16. I think that's it. Just off of memory here. All these numbers get confusing. We're basically kicking down the gatekeepers. We're trying to change the accredited investor laws, starting with California. We've got many more states playing. There's going to be a multi-year effort. So you guys continue to do that. I want to push from the backside.
Yeah, you do.
Really? I want to push from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think we're actually much more powerful, and the Bit Squad is much better served to do that. Where we can do it across the entire country as a group, not necessarily where we, have to pick one precinct and run. And I tell you, after what I saw in California, like, number one, they're bullish on blockchain. I will tell you that. But after what I saw, the inner workings of how the politics and the government and the state houses work to get things done, it's just way too slow for me. I just couldn't handle it. So, all right. And guys, don't forget, smash the like button, please. Number one thing you can do to be a member of the Bit Squad, to help the channel, smash that like button. Make sure you're watching on mobile, exit the live chat, hit the like, come back in, watch on Smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, more actions, more options, and then hit react and like this video or dislike it, whatever. I don't care, either one. Also, guys, reminder, I'll be in LA this weekend at NFT Expoverse. If you guys are going to be out there, look for me. Carver Coin says we have 1.9 jobs for one unemployed person. That's going to be factored into the not recession story. Either way, I'm thankful for this crypto buying opportunity and not yelling at my lawn. Well, that's good.
There you go. And that's all we got.
And Twitter buzz. Sing. There we go. Look at that. We got to start thinking about some more segments.
Yeah.
The TMZ segment's a good one, I think.
We need a little sound, some little birds tweeting or something as we go into that. And it still needs a little work for sure. It's a little clunky, but we're getting there.
Ben, why did you skip my $10 super chat? Just asked if you could explain to earn crypto during the bear market. Is staking the best way? Guys, I don't remember seeing that one. Caleb Rager says we should make a video of all my rants. That would be pretty good. Guys, sorry, we just don't see every super chat. I see most of them, but sometimes I'm ranting and we miss it. But what I would tell you is about that is staking is good if you can do it on chain. If
Mhm.
you've got an ETH validator node for ETH2, great. If you're going to be able to use our Bitpool and stake Cardano on chain, great. Stake Avalanche on chain, great. Third party staking, I will never again, for the rest of my life, I will never again, and unless something changes dramatically and we have 100% trust in a third party platform, never again will I tell you should stake.
And
That has hurt so many people, including ourselves,
Yeah.
to the tune of $3 million. You probably may have lost a higher percentage of your portfolio. Some of you guys definitely lost 6-7 figures. And that's heartbreaking. Now, hopefully, going to get some of that back at some point. But I will never again push a third party as a place where you should stake.
And this is something I wanted to touch on a little bit too, because the question was specifically passive income, right? And I feel like that's been sold a
Mhm.
lot,
Yep.
like this dream of, oh, what can I do to earn passive income? And even in that statement, earn passive income is kind of a oxymoron because there's very few things that are truly passive. So
Yeah.
our big thing is earn crypto in the bull market, not necessarily passively. Offer to help in communities, work, basically take anything you can do to apply your current skills to this industry in exchange for Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoin, something like that. Something you can do to build up your portfolio. It's not just parking your money somewhere and making easy money for free. And a lot of times that mindset and that mentality of how can I do something super easy to get rich is how you get wrecked. You
And now
got to
get
put some work in.
scammed or wrecked,
Yeah.
in this case, wrecked. But certainly that's why a lot of people chase, scams where somebody messages somewhere and says, hey, I can make a lot of money on your crypto. And you say, okay, sure. And you
Yeah.
hand it over. You got to be really careful about that stuff. So, all right. Yeah, people like TJ being back because I
Yeah.
guess you chat in the basement. They missed you. They said
Yeah.
Frank doesn't chat in the basement.
Yeah.
Bitcoin crypto slip amid signs of exhaustion. Bitcoin and ETH investment inflows again. So kind of some reverse indicators there. Bitcoin records 2x higher 30-day trading volume than Apple despite bear market. Well, the reason for that would be because of the giant, wick down. And some people were asking, why was that giant wick down not considered capitulation? It's really hard to kind of put your finger on exactly why we would say that was not capitulation, other than in previous markets that we've been in. We've got the perspective, we've got the experience. When everybody started thinking this was bottom, there was another lower leg, and that's capitulation. Right now, people are still feeling positive. Hopefully, it might turn around, go back up. You got to kill that. And why does that work in markets? I don't really know. But the longer I've been around, I would tell you that investment cheat sheet, psychological cheat sheet that shows the anger, the depression, all of the different things.
Euphoria,
Yeah, the euphoria, all of that, it hits exactly. It really does. Like that thing is so accurate. Just so you guys know, I'll pull it up real quick. Market psychology cheat sheet. You pull it up, you kind of look at it here. Let's see. Here it is. This is it. Yep, there we go. So you guys can kind of see like where you are. The true capitulation is way over here, around anger. And you guys can see capitulation here. Well, this is the capitulation. A huge leg down. I'm getting 100% of the market out of the markets. I can't afford to lose. I just don't think most people have hit that point yet. Now, it does show more downward action after the capitulation. In crypto, usually we see the capitulation as more of the last wick down before it bounces up. And this is more sideways than down lower again. But right now, I mean, I definitely think that, we are in a spot where I could probably say denial. We could possibly be in denial. I could have said a few weeks ago we were in panic, but we got to wait for that capitulation, that last leg down. The complacency is when I was telling people it could go down to 20K and it was at 38K and people were saying that was crazy. Go ahead.
I think I think we're somewhere between maybe like the beginning of anger before depression. You in that up and down sideways where we're gonna get a bounce up, and like we could be right there at the beginning of that anger.
Yeah.
My point, and then we're
Well,
gonna.
I would say I would agree with that 100%. The only thing is on this, it shows capitulation before the anger.
Mhm.
In crypto, we usually get capitulation after the anger.
Yeah.
Right? Because capitulation is the last leg down where everybody gets out of the markets. This is based off of the stock market, which operates a little bit differently than crypto does. But in general, we hit all these stages for
I'd
sure.
put an extra capitulation right there before depression.
We are 100% on target. That's exactly what I would have said. I was surprised they had the capitulation over here now that I'm really looking at it. But depression comes in from where depression is actually in the bull market. If you guys didn't know that. That's what's so interesting.
That's the beginning of the bull market.
The beginning of the bull market is depression because the price comes down to a point where people think, where it's a bottom. As soon as we bottom in Bitcoin, everything after that is bull market, but it doesn't feel like it because it slowly moves. It goes sideways. And it's super depressing. Like, that's when I wanted to quit, was December of 2019. That's when I almost canceled the channel. It was like, I got to go do something different because I was so depressed that the price was not moving. And then, of course, that was right before everything took off. So,
man.
Okay, here we go. The merge is Ethereum's chance to take over Bitcoin. I've been telling you that for a long, long time. Ethereum's imminent transition to proof-of-stake mechanism will transform its monetary policy, making it more scarce than Bitcoin. Ethereum researcher Vivek Raman is convinced that Ethereum's upcoming transition to proof-of-stake will enable it to take over Bitcoin's position as the most prominent crypto. After the merge, Ethereum will have lower inflation than Bitcoin, especially with fee burns. Ethereum will be deflationary, while Bitcoin will always be inflationary. Now, this is interesting because I'm not 100% sure that we're going to get true deflation for Ethereum. You're just going to find that the rate of inflation is going to drop so significantly. Now, when EIP 1559 first hit last year, we did actually have a time where Ethereum was deflationary, but I don't think over the long haul we are going to look at a deflationary Ethereum where the supply is constantly going down. The estimates are it's going from 4.3% inflation to 0.2% inflation, 95% drop. I think we can be very happy with that. So we had actually kind of covered some of the stuff that he had talked about last week on this. This is a guy who had said, we had a bit of an article about this. I think this is an interview with him, but it's probably repeating all the same stuff. But I think what people need to understand is Bitcoin has first mover advantage in this market. Ethereum has first mover advantage in layer ones. And we believe that advantage is very large. With Bitcoin, what you're looking at is something that has gone from being an electronic currency to something that's become digital gold. The use case for digital gold is much smaller than the use case of peer-to-peer transactions. So has that actually lowered the ceiling for Bitcoin's potential? Well, you don't think so? It's a question.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if it lowers the use. Is the use case more valuable even though it's less commonly used? Does that make sense? Like a medium of exchange obviously tons of transactions happening over and over and over and over and over and over. Store of value is kind of the highest and best use case, but it doesn't get both. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like store of value, probably the most valuable use case you could have, more than medium of exchange or the digital currency. Like it's more important that value continually grows and gets stored than a currency. You can make the case it's less valuable that it doesn't.
Well, it has to be it has to be stable.
Stable. Yeah.
That's the thing about it, is that I don't think when Satoshi Nakamoto came up with this, he thought that this was going to get so expensive per coin and have such crazy volatility. Maybe he did, but I don't think so.
I mean, I think the theory was it would stabilize over time.
Yeah.
Which it still may.
But the number's going to be so insanely high. It's going to take so long to get there that you're going to have a million CBDCs or other kinds of currencies be able to pass it. So I definitely think that, it's something to watch. But that first mover advantage, in my opinion, for Bitcoin will always keep it number one as the store of value coin, I believe. Yeah, eventually, maybe, I've said this before, eventually I think we do get world reserve currency that is Bitcoin 50 years from now. But it's assets backed by Bitcoin, similar to like assets backed by gold were when gold was king. So, it's very interesting when you look at Ethereum. It just does so much more. It's a new layer to the internet. And then you start thinking about, the fact that it's international, it's borderless. I think there's just so much more to it that gives it higher potential. Now, what's interesting is I do believe that the first mover advantage for Ethereum as a layer 1 will stick. I think Cardano's got the best chance to knock it off. But ultimately, unless the ETH2 merge goes horrible, or sharding goes horrible, or something over the next 5 to 10 years where Ethereum goes horrible, it's going to be hard for anything to ever catch it. It's just got such a head start. And a lot of people would make the argument that, well, when you look at the number of developers compared to the normal computer programmers and developers out there, that, we're still just at a little drop of the bucket. That's true. We are. But the vast majority of crypto developers are in Ethereum by a long shot. It's not even close. That's it. But when you look at Plutus and you look at the programming language for Cardano, it was designed to be really easy for other developers to come on over. So basically, Charles Hoskins says the pool of ETH developers is like a pond, and the pool of Cardano developers will be an ocean, because there'll be so many more possibilities. So that is something to watch. But I do believe ETH has got to mess something up in order to get caught.
Fun. Speaking of Charles, he was in Italy the same time I was.
Oh, really?
He was posted a picture like in Rome day or two after I left. Russell Crowe too. It's like the thing to do, I guess.
Wow, what a gladiator.
Yeah. Well, he took his kids to the Coliseum.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He said back in the old office.
Let me tell you, is that not like one of the greatest movies ever? Gladiator.
Gladiator. It's a good one.
Such a solid movie. Like, its rewatch value is still high.
That's what I was about to say. It
Yeah.
stands the test of time. Sometimes you go back and watch something, because I think it was like 2005 or something like that. You go back and watch and you're like, why did I love this? But that one was solid. Solid.
Okay. Could Ethereum be classified as a security after the merge? How stupid. Let's see how stupid this sounds. A security, guys, just so you know, this is not the entire definition of a security. Okay. The Howey test has many different facets to it. This says a security is an investment contract in which a reward or profit is expected. I will go right back to exactly what I said a couple months ago. Windex, definitely a security, because people go to the dollar store and they buy Windex, and they go on Amazon and they sell it for a higher price. That's an investment contract. They are investing in an item that they believe there's an expectation of a reward or a profit for selling it. How is that not? My wife sent me something about a 67-year-old lady who makes thousands of dollars a month on Amazon, going to thrift stores and scanning book barcodes and finding books for cheap to resell for higher on Amazon Books. Is that not an investment contract? What's the difference? When we boil everything down to there's an expectation of profit when you are buying this thing, then almost everything is a security. This is why it's so asinine. That they had the report a couple weeks ago that said, well, even if 75% of the coins are used for utility, but 25% are used as an investment, that makes the whole thing a security. If 98% of books being bought out there are used for school, but 2% are used as an expectation of profit, then must make books a security. Must make it. So asinine. ASA 10, ASA 11 is all I like to say. Thank you, Stephen A. Smith. There are several bullish factors for Ethereum's transition to proof of stake in September. Here we go. We got Adam Levitin. Something no one is talking about. After the merger, there will be a strong case that Ether will be a security. The token in any proof of stake system is likely to be a security. This guy must be a maximalist. Security in exchange, nutless Gary Gensler is on an enforcement-driven mission to secure his agency's control over crypto. If the SEC succeeds, the majority of tokens could be treated as securities and regulated the same way stocks are. I do not believe this is happening. I believe that Gary Gensler is in the midst of a power play, and I do believe that he loses. He has too many other organizations out there other than the SEC that are also looking to gain power, whether it's the IRS, the Treasury, the OCC, obviously the CFTC, the Fed. They're all looking for power here, and the SEC is just one organization. So I don't think we are going to see that.
Yeah, what makes me think, if you look at the statement the SEC came out with recently, they listed a handful of tokens they are looking at for securities that are on Coinbase, I believe.
Wait, how did you say this came about?
I'm pretty sure the SEC put it out.
Well, I mean,
they made a statement.
No, they didn't make a statement. What they did is they're suing the insider trader from Coinbase, and within that, they also included 9 coins on Coinbase that they believe were bought and traded by these insider traders
Right.
that they consider to be securities. So they didn't like put out a blanket statement. The thing is, they're trying to work around.
Yeah,
They're trying to go after a person and get that person to agree those are securities in basically a negotiation, a plea.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the SEC gets to call them securities.
Yeah.
So it's a little crazy the way they're trying to do things there.
And it shows the desperation in my
100%.
They went
Absolutely.
after XRP. They thought it was going to be easy. They've learned it clearly wasn't. It's not going the way they hoped. And I don't think they're going to go after Ethereum knowing they have just as much resources to throw at it. And they've got to overcome a previous statement of a previous commissioner. Like they've got a lot to overcome to attack Ethereum. They're going to go for easy wins. So people that are, the funny thing in that
College
tweet
is a
too is he
security.
says
That's a good
nobody's talking about this. Everybody's talking
Yeah.
about this. It's all they talk about is basically, anything proof of stake could be considered a security. And that's just, there's no precedent. And they're, like you said, they're trying to establish it after the fact. But I think they're going to go for easy wins, not the number 2 biggest project out there.
Well,
that
the SEC is all looped in
Right.
to Ethereum.
That's what I'm saying.
Thanks to the EA and
There's
everything that
way
went on with
too
William
much to
Inman.
overcome.
They're
Yeah.
way too looped into it. There's no way. So people that say stuff like this, they're just idiots. Like they're so. And first of all, when you you have to understand how you are receiving profits on these nodes. Okay, you're not receiving a higher valued Ethereum. You're receiving more Ethereum. Right. So that's not what happens with stocks, right? Like with a stock, which I guess stocks are considered securities. You're not making more stock. Now there are dividends, you can make, but that's just one classification. Your value of your Ethereum is not going up because you have a node. You're earning more on top of it. It just shows these people have no idea what they're talking about. They're just throwing stuff at the wall. So this is a really stupid article, in my opinion. And this Adam Levitin guy, he is probably about as low IQ as there comes out there to be able to say stuff. People are just saying stuff for clicks. That's all they're saying. Following 30% rally over the past fortnight. Did this guy really say fortnight? What is a fortnight? It's like 10 days, I think.
It's something like
Something
that.
like, maybe it's 20 days.
Couple
I think it's 20
millions.
days, actually. Down 30% over the last fortnight. Ethereum prices hit resistance over the weekend. Yada, yada, yada. Carver Coin, could you help me make a Gary Gensler coin with an ICO and a Coinbase launch? I would love that. Should we have for cards? We get the car giveaway. We got to get that rolling.
Yeah.
Have we contacted the person yet?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we got to get that rolling this week, so we're gonna do that. Let's talk about Elon Musk. Here we go. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto TMZ. This is where we talk about celebrities and celebrity gossip. Let's start here with this. Elon Musk on fire. Tesla CEO had an affair with Google co-founder's wife. Speculatively. What's the word I'm looking for? Allegedly, exactly. 2 weeks, 14 days is a fortnight. So there you go. And I don't know. According to this picture, Elon Musk is surprised by this.
Huh?
I mean, and there she is. Does she kind of look like the other lady he had the twins with? Don't they kind of look similar? I think
I can't keep up.
he has a type. I'll say that. Now this he has denied this, so I'm not saying this is true. I'm just telling you what the news says here. Elon Musk, a crypto advocate. Of course. They have to say a crypto advocate when they're talking about him having an affair. Can't trust those crypto advocate guys. He played the proverbial fire with the wife. He played the proverbial fire? Played with the proverbial fire, I believe. Of his close friend, Sergey Brin, who co-founded Google in 1998. The hanky panky caused Brin to file for divorce. I can't take these articles seriously. We're just going to have to stop the show until the bull market comes back because this stuff is just so insane. I can't take it seriously. Putting an end to the tech mogul's lengthy friendship with Musk, according to an article in the Wall Street Journal. It was in the fall of last year that the extramarital canoodling with Nicole Shanahan, one of the famous women with 2 first names, started. According to the publication sources, tensions between the 2 billionaires and their respective teams have increased since the reported tryst in 2021. Elon Musk had an affair with the wife of Google co-founder Sergey Brin. Report. This is how they get to report. They get to report defamation without actually reporting defamation. They say a very solid, strong statement, and they say report.
Yeah.
Okay. Things were not working out. They had differences on sperm and creating more Elon Musks. God, Elon Musk is really aged here.
Yeah.
SpaceX Big Boss has a total of 10 offspring. Somebody needs to get these people a thesaurus, including one who just made an identity change. We talked about that last week, I think, and publicly disowned the tycoon. His dad said he was asked by a group of people to donate his sperm in order to build more Elon Musks.
Oh, wow.
According to Elon Musk's father, the plan was to impregnate upper-class women and produce a new generation of Elon Musks. Where are we at in the world?
I was say, is this just why we're talking about this instead of Google's earnings? You know, you think that's by design? Google has earnings this week, and now all of a sudden, everybody's talking about affairs.
I don't think it's necessarily like we're getting contrived distractions. I think like this stuff gets way more clicks and way more attention. So why reporting the important?
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
so
just so you know, guys, Google has earnings this week with a lot of big tech companies. That's a lot more relevant to Bitcoin prices. And
I still can't figure out what's going on with Elon Musk and all his twins and triplets and all that stuff.
he
Still can't figure out
clearly isn't afraid of overpopulation like the rest of them.
Brakoshi Notanero says, BitBoy Crypto, did the rapture already happen and we didn't make the cut? I mean, I think about it some days.
Maybe.
Some days I think about it. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay.
Ugh.
Elon Musk Tesla is certainly open to increasing its Bitcoin holdings as Doge gains edge. Tesla has sold the majority of its Bitcoin holdings. That was a big story last week.
Did you guys? You were out a lot last week too, right? Or were you here?
I was on Monday, Tuesday.
Okay. Did you guys cover that? It looked like their holdings was part of that crash, basically.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Well, hey, I was busy.
Yeah, we did. We covered that extensively. So anyways.
All right.
Okay. Musk clarified sale wasn't a verdict on Bitcoin when they sold. It's certainly open, increasing its holdings, yada, 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 whatever. That was basically the sole reason for that happening was for them to show a profitable quarter two.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really thinking short term right there, I think. So we'll see if it works out. Voyager says FTX's buyout offer was misleadingly lowball bid. Lawyers representing Voyager Digital have publicly slammed FTX's buyout proposal. I tell you, it was very interesting to listen to Simon Dixon talking about them, Bank of the Future trying to buy out Celsius. 120 days, maybe we might see something like that happen. Did you watch any of that interview? I guess not.
No.
It turns out Alex Mashinsky is 100% the problem on everything. He won't leave. He's trying to hold on to everything, and that's screwing all of the Celsius holders. Yeesh. Companies have offered to bail them out and to give people basically most of their money back, and he won't step aside. This is someone who does not have your best interest at heart, for sure. Wow. So it is unbelievable. This guy won't leave. He thinks he's still going to be successful in crypto. He thinks he's going to save Celsius. It's over.
It's delusional.
That was a very fascinating interview. I wanted to keep him on longer last week. But anyways, y'all make sure to follow him on Twitter, Simon Dixon. Commenting on Voyager's response to the proposal, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried said the only bankruptcy lawyers would benefit from dragging out the proceedings, while the customers would get effed, as you see there. Voyager's lawyers, Lars, these are different. They come up with the laws.
Yeah.
Their Lars slammed FTX's buyout offer in a press release published July 22nd. FTX offered Voyager a deal that would see Alameda Research purchase all of Voyager's crypto assets and loans, excluding loans to the bankrupt crypto hedge fund, Three Arrows Capital, and use them to provide instant liquidity to customers affected by bankruptcy. Instant liquidity. Per the buyout proposal, Voyager customers would be able to open FTX accounts and withdraw their share of the remaining assets in cash or retain their rights and claims in proceedings. Voyager filed for Chapter 11, a type of voluntary bankrupt proceeding, allows customers to restructure and keep operating in order to eventually settle its obligations. On July 6th, of course, Outer Three Arrows Capital defaulted on a $665 million loan from the exchange. Now, I do want to say this. I was asked over the weekend a very interesting question, which was, did I believe that BlackRock and Vanguard, I had a big popular tweet out about them this weekend, which, I'm always looking over my shoulder for the guy trying to, hang me over a door with a dog collar, like another guy that did that too. But anyways,
to a few people.
Yeah. You think these people just killed themselves, But the fact is that someone asked me if I felt like BlackRock and Vanguard were directly responsible for what happened with Three Arrows Capital and what happened with Celsius? And the answer to that question is absolutely yes, 100%. Now, I'm going to be very careful with what I say here because this does not absolve the other parties of their responsibilities.
Right.
But how did all this start? Why did Three Arrows Capital go under? Do you know?
I mean, it was a lot of it
Terra
started
Luna.
with Terra Luna.
Terra Luna.
Yeah.
That's why Three Arrows Capital went under. Why did Voyager go under? Because the Three Arrows Capital owed them so much money. Now, how Celsius fits into all this, not 100% clear because, it looks like they're just degenerates. But in a roundabout way, yes, this all started with BlackRock and Citadel. And, of course, they came out and said, we had nothing to do with that. Prove it. Right. We're just going to put out a report and say we didn't do it, and everybody's going to believe we didn't do it. We know you're responsible for everything. Everything. Like, BlackRock controls everything. Vanguard as well. Citadel up there as well. They have board seats on almost every major corporation in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that, guys. So, yes, I do believe that BlackRock specifically is more responsible than anybody else. Larry Fink, CEO, more responsible for anyone else for what's going on in crypto. However, the Terra Luna situation was a vulnerability that was exploited in the way that they set up their algorithmic stablecoin. That was always going to happen. And whether it was them or it was someone else, that was always going to happen, okay? Celsius, Voyager, they were overextended in leverage. This was always going to happen. But, yes, in a roundabout way, you can say BlackRock directly responsible for everything that we're seeing today. And yet somehow we just allow them to continue to be the most powerful, organization in the world. But people are wising up to this. Like, did you hear anybody talking about BlackRock 4 or 5 years ago?
Much less. A few people.
Yeah. Very few people knew. Now the word is getting out. People are starting to understand the reins of control that these, hedge funds have over everybody and everything. So,
which makes me think they're getting a few layers deeper. So
right.
Keep digging.
KuCoin addresses recent insolvency FUD on Twitter. The rumors emerged through a tweet from a now deleted Twitter account of Otaru, claimed to have access to insider information that points to the crypto exchange insolvency. Not the first time rumors came out. You guys can see here talking about the tweet here. Fat Man, this guy running the Terra Luna class action lawsuit, I believe. Also, ex-employee is a random anon who DM'd him on Twitter. I wouldn't consider that meaningful. The long and short of it, this tweet came out this weekend. This was it. Saying that KuCoin is insolvent. Insider claims that this is happening. Whistleblower, yada, yada, yada. We don't have proof to say this, but I will tell you guys, KuCoin is definitely one that I would not have a lot of money sitting on. I would have a lot of money sitting on any exchange at this point. For our stable portfolio, we may have to use it just because this is where we get access to a lot of coins at. But I'm not saying KuCoin is bad. I'm not saying that they're insolvent. I'm just saying you should not trust them. You shouldn't trust Coinbase. At this point, we cannot trust any exchange, period. You need to get your money out there, learn how to self-custody. We do have a wallet video coming out for you guys soon. But that's what I'll say on that. My opinion on KuCoin has changed 0% after seeing that. There are questions. There are concerns. There are red flags. That goes across the whole industry. You should not have your money sitting on there. There you go. Let me tell you how many people messaged me and said, I have my money sitting on Voyager. I have my money sitting on Celsius. You told me to get it off. Don't trust the third parties. Of course, we trusted them with a loan. We have money on there from a loan, which you're forced to keep on there. But guys, don't keep your money on exchanges. That's at least not the majority. You don't want to make sure you don't want to get a disaster happen and you lose your entire portfolio. So, decentralized music platform Audius identified source of $6 million exploit, says it applied a patch. This is interesting here. Decentralized music platform Audius has identified the bug that allowed a hacker to pass through a malicious governance proposal. The issue has been found and fixed. While these fixes are being completed, token balances, transfers, etc., will be temporarily unavailable. Corey says, my friend's husband works for BlackRock. Do you think they know how corrupt they are, or do you think they're in the dark? It's just like anything. It's just like anything else out there that is, you look at some of these, these secret organizations, these nonprofit organizations out there. On the outer edges, there's a lot of people doing a lot of good stuff, a lot of people doing good work. They support people that do good work. But on the innards, on the very deepest levels of these organizations is pure evil. I do believe that's the same with BlackRock. So I don't think someone that works there necessarily. Your secretary at BlackRock may not be evil,
Right.
but the assistant may not be evil, but the person they're assisting probably is. So, Neopets was also a project, virtual pet owning game. They had suffered a breach of data, so there you go. So Audius had an exploit. They fixed it. An exploit does not necessarily mean project is dead or anything like that. We support Audius. We like Audius.
Yeah.
We think they're good. We like decentralized music platforms, so we're looking into. So there you go. Latvian NFT artist made $8.7 million in earnings. They're seized over accusations of money laundering. So according to Borisov, authorities have filed a case against him in February 2022, but he was only notified about it in May. Wow, 3 months after they did it, they told him about it. Thoughts on EliPal Titan Cold Wallet? I think we like EliPal. We talked about it before. I don't think there's any reason necessarily to be concerned about cold storage wallets as long as you're ordering directly from the company. But I don't use one right now, so I don't know that much about it compared to a Ledger or a Trezor or even a what's the other one? Arculus. Yeah. Most major governments worldwide yet to release framework on how crypto earnings should be taxed, causing issues for crypto NFT traders and artists. Guys, if you haven't figured out, them saying money laundering or trying to get tax money from people that haven't paid it, this is a way the government is overreaching because they don't want to tell you how you're supposed to do it. They expect you to know how to do it the way they want you to do it without telling you the way they want you to do it. And they're just coming in and they're land grabbing and taking money from everybody. Yuga Labs faced a potential class action lawsuit over inflated Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. Look at this inflated one.
Yeah.
This is inflated. Yuga Labs, $4 billion startup behind Bored Ape Yacht Club, could face class action lawsuit. Alleges it artificially boosted the price of its crypto assets, leaving investors with deep losses. This sounds like the XRP lawsuit, class action lawsuit, where the guy was like, "Oh, we're going to sue Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse because we bought the top." Friggin' idiots. Once it was revealed that the tidal growth was entirely dependent on continued promotion, you think like Fortune 500 companies don't promote themselves? Like, you think if all of them stopped advertising, they wouldn't see any drop in their price? Retail investors who leveraged tokens, they lost 87% over the inflated high price on April 2022. I just have no sympathy. I have no sympathy for people that blame other people for their bad financial decisions. I'm sorry, I got no sympathy. No sympathy at all. That's what this is. Somebody bought the top of Bored Ape Yacht Club, which in 4 or 5 years, they'll probably be up again on their investment. But right now, while they're down in their investment, they want to say it must be somebody else. It can't be my fault for making my own financial decision. And I don't have any time for that. So, what about this story? Chess robot breaks 7-year-old's finger during tournament in Russia. Yeah, absolutely.
Where did this come from?
Do they have the video? Does this have the video?
Do we want to see it?
Oh gosh, are we even able to? Ah! He broke his finger. Oh my gosh. Ah, the robot. Everybody's just standing there.
Let him go.
They stand and look at him for like 5 minutes. Oh no, poor kid.
Ow.
Oh man, that's so bad.
It's like slamming your finger in the car
It's
door.
still stuck.
Yeah, not being able to open the door.
Oh my god. Oh, it broke his finger. Poor kid.
Wow.
That kid on the other side's like, do I move?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm not playing that robot.
That's awful.
Yeah.
A chess robot broke the finger of a 7-year-old boy playing in a tournament in Russia, according to reports from the local news outlets. It's not clear what explanation, if any, the robot's creators have offered for this accident, but such incidents are not unusual in scenarios where robot engineers have failed to properly consider safety protocols around humans. Although footage of the incident is distressing, the child was soon recovered, enough to continue to play.
Wow.
So how about that? Finish the game. It's like my kid get hit in the face with a ball. What a champion. If you are a chess dad and that's your kid, you're extremely proud of
Savage.
Checkmate, kid. Checkmate. Okay. Now, did you see the robot dog with the gun?
No.
Oh yeah, this is the video
it
from
real?
over the weekend. It is a this is a robot, by the way. There it is.
Is it real?
Yeah,
though?
this is real. This is real, 100%. Yeah.
I mean,
I've-
I've seen those drones before, those robots.
Yeah, everybody laughing at the MIT robots. I've been saying this for years. Guys, this is literally from a Black Mirror episode. I mean, did y'all not see the one where the robot dogs chase everybody down and kill them? That's literally what this is. We are walking right into the traps that the AI is already laying for us. So I'm just telling you, this is scary stuff right here. So that came out over the weekend. Very scary. And here we go. XRP Army, where you at? Throw the X up. Don't forget to throw the X up if you're in the XRP Army. Make sure to like this video if you like XRP. You guys know we are the master and commander of the XRP Army, which, by the way, I mentioned that someone had asked me if I was like a fallen police officer or something, like a wounded police officer, because it's XRP shirt that I had while I was at Disney World. Somebody came up to me. I was in a wheelchair because of my
'cause
leg.
it's black and blue.
Yeah, well, I was like, wow, honey, why did you think that? My mom was like, well, it is black and blue, and it does say officer on the back. Got a little more insight into this. Over the weekend, I was wearing my XRP shirt because it's very good for being out in the hot, because it doesn't show sweat. Guy came up to me and said, oh, are you supporting Officer 589 with a GSP? I said, what?
Yeah.
Apparently, now this is according to this guy, I cannot verify this. Apparently, Georgia State Patrol Officer, which we live in Georgia here, 589 was a guy who got killed in a drunk driving accident.
No
where
way.
he was helping someone or he was pulled somebody over on the side of the road, and a drunk driver pulled in and hit him. Now I don't know if that's 100% true. Maybe he had his number wrong, but if so, that is a really bad coincidence for our GS for our XRP Officer 589 shirts. So maybe we can double support. We support the officer and support the 589 prize. Ripple expands its remittance technology to Philippines via QNB in its first of its kind move here. In a historic move, Ripple partner QNB has launched a direct remittance service for money transfers from Qatar to the Philippines. This makes it the first bank in Qatar to introduce the service. You guys can see here, proud to connect QNB Group, our biggest partner in MENA, that is the Middle East, North Africa region, with China Bank in Philippines, bringing RippleNet's customer service or customer experience to Filipinos in Qatar. Naveen Gupta, managing director of South Asia and MENA, stated, it is our biggest partner in the MENA region and glad to continue it. Here's a little bit of price. XRP ahead of the altcoin pack recently. Some major milestones have hit over the last week, in addition to several massive active addresses or address spikes firing off. I've been massive dormant tokens shifting addresses this week. Keep a close watch. The on-chain analytics firm stated XRP is ahead of the altcoin pack recently. Some major milestones hit over the past week. I love when they just repeat the sentiment. So, look, I've said it again. The number one things I would be accumulating right now: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano. That's the Fantastic Four, if you will, in my opinion. Judge losing patience in Ripple and XRP lawsuit as he changes his story too many times. Crypto legal expert says the judge in the SEC's case against Ripple Labs is losing patience. Regulatory agency for flip-flopping. Jeremy Hogan quoted a statement by Judge Netburn reprimanding the SEC for altering his story. Said, I hate to interrupt you, but you just said something different to me. You said that the was given by Director Hinman in his capacity as Director of Corporate Finance. That seems different to me than what you said a year ago. Am I misremembering? Because when we were discussing whether he should be disposed, I recalled there was an argument from the SEC that he said what he said really had no bearing on this litigation because he wasn't speaking on behalf of the division, that he was just speaking at a personal event. And there was a lot of attention focused on the disclaimers, but you just now said he was speaking as director on behalf of the division. The hypocrisy is absolutely insane here. Jeremy Hogan put out a video recently on this. You guys can go watch it. I think that's his mother. I think he was talking to his mother about her thoughts on it. I don't know if was she a lawyer too? Maybe comes from a long line of lawyers. But the fact is, this case is moving. We've got a lot of action going on these days in what's happening. So keep an eye out on that. All right, guys. That's all we got for the show here. You got a couple Q&A questions?
Yeah, let's do a couple real quick. From somebody called I'm back. This is my first year in crypto. I've been DCing every week into Link, Algo, XRP, Matic, QNT, and Theta. What do you think of my portfolio moving into the next bull market?
I would say the one that on that list that I would look at, and I don't know how it's going to perform, is QNT. I'm not saying I wouldn't have it in my portfolio. I mean, you got to take some flyers on some stuff. I know Crypto Mason loves QNT. A lot of people love it. I did have a good solid pump a couple weeks ago. I think QNT is on the ISO 20022 list.
I believe it is.
I believe it is. Now, that got pushed back to 2025 for people that didn't know. We should do some reporting on that at some point, which, no coincidence, is going to be heat of the bull run.
Yeah.
Heat of the bull run. That's when it's going to launch. XRP to the moonski. Maybe QNT. I don't hate QNT, but I have a lot more solid fundamental faith in the other ones you have there. But I think it's a good list. I mean, I would definitely consider adding Cardano and Ethereum to that.
That's
to
what I
that
was going to
list.
say. The only thing missing there is some clear, layer one first movers like Cardano, Ethereum.
Yep.
And obviously, maybe have some Bitcoin. Let's see. I don't know if you want to
we
hit
should do that
this
question real
one.
quick.
Yeah. Do you know why proof of work is more secure than proof of stake?
Well, because basically proof of work requires action. It requires someone, I guess, miners to do the work to bring things into the supply, and it creates a much fairer system. When you have proof of stake, let me say it like this. What proof of work does is it provides an open and fair landscape to all people to be able to participate in the Bitcoin network. With proof of stake, it's a matter of how much you hold. So some people would make the argument that you could centralize the system by having a small group of people come in and buy up the supply, and all of a sudden they have the concentration of all the nodes, and then they're able to make decisions that could affect the network based on how much they own. In a roundabout way, you could kind of say Bitcoin could follow a similar path, but it's already decentralized to the point where, yes, there are giant whales that own a lot of the supply, but you're not going to have an overwhelmingly large amount of supply held by small entities. Of course, Satoshi himself has 1 million Bitcoin, supposedly 600,000 to 1 million, or to 1.1 million. So a lot of people, including myself, believe Satoshi is dead. I mean, I believe Satoshi was a group of people, cyberpunks. Most of it was done by Hal Finney. I do believe he's dead. So, that's a little bit about it. It's basically proof of work is a fair system because everybody gets the same shot. Proof of stake, not quite as fair when it comes to, you basically have to own 32 ETH to run a node. How many people do you know have 32 ETH? Not that many. So,
and it's a hardware thing too. Like what you're saying, the reason it's much more difficult to gain or get access to the network is it would require you to buy an insane amount of hardware, which takes an insane amount of energy consumption to run, which is much more difficult than just going and buying a large amount of the supply and proof of stake system. So
there's a lot of reasons, but the long and short of it is proof of work is more secure. The only argument against proof of work really is the environmental costs, which are heavily overblown. All right, we got to go because we got that thing at 1. So I got to go record the nightly video. All right, guys, that is all we got for today. Thank you so much for watching this week. Look forward to seeing some of you guys out this weekend in LA. Also, we're going to be announcing our Toronto meetup tomorrow, or probably on Twitter later today. We'll be talking about that. We'll be doing that on August the 9th. If you're in Toronto, come say what's up. That's all we got for today. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Good boy out.